I can see now the degree of agony and the degree of battle that it was for you just to appear consistently. It was horrendous. And I despise the manner in which leading you don't have in the event that you're truly sorry you don't stand by every one of these this opportunity to let me know you're sorry eminent entertainer D.L. Hoy, known for his non-rubbish disposition, as of late divided his sincere interpretation of the notorious conflict among Chris Rock and Will Smith at the 2022 Oscars. Huey didn't keep down declaring that Chris Rock will be for all time recognized as the person who felt the sting of Will Smith's open palm on the stupendous Oscar stage, all due to a quip about Jada Pinkett's smooth scalp. Yet that is not where the succulent subtleties end. Hughley, never one to avoid giving everything away, has now stripped back the drape on some not exactly complimenting parts of Will Smith's previous he's digging into when Smith was enjoying some real success as the lead in the underneath sitcom. The new ruler of Bel-Air reports have been humming about Smith's asserted, not exactly cordial way of behaving towards his kindred cast individuals during those powerful long stretches of 90s sitcom magnificence. Murmurs of abuse in the background have flowed far and wide. Now Hughley is determined to uncover reality. Will Smith, the enchanting sovereign of Bel-Air, on screen, have a hazier side when the camera quit rolling, so lock in for an excursion through a world of fond memories with D.L. Hoy, as he lets the cat out of the bag on Will Smith's in the background tricks during the period of the new ruler of Bel-Air. The show unfurls, and the disclosures are stunning as they are shameful. On the off chance that you leave Will's life presently, don't you at any point return back in the vital year of 1990. Media outlets went out on a limb on the then youthful Grammy-winning hip bounce craftsman Will Smith and his endeavor into the universe of TV with the new ruler of Bel-Air, while the show charmed itself to crowds through its smart plot lines in a signature tune and Smith's unquestionable moxie. The in the background account was a long way from the laid-back energy the show depicted, in opposition to the relaxing maxing, loosening up all cool ethos of the on-screen new sovereign group. Off-screen pressures fermented with cast individuals participating in not exactly amicable collaborations, suggestive of a mean young lady-style copybook. At the very front of the dramatization was Will Smith, who appeared to be driving the charge. The behind-the-stage adventure of the new ruler of Bel-Air was sprinkled with complaints, especially including the entertainer playing the first in Viv, Janet Hubert. Throughout the span of 3 seasons, Hubert wound up in conflict with the show's greatest stars, adding to the juiciest goodies of new sovereign show. Quick forward 22 years, and a considerable lot of the show's greatest mysteries have proactively been exposed at this point. The dim stories that rose up out of the new ruler period likewise portray a rap star wrestling with recently discovered television fame in the midst of fights with his on-screen family, his record mark. And surprisingly, the U.S. government divulging one layer of the account, it was uncovered that Will Smith's fay into sitcom fame wasn't completely deliberate, troubled by a faltering $2.8 million obligation owed to the IRS. Smith, confronting monetary strife, had no real option except to take on the lead job in the Benny Medina, semi-self-portraying the new sovereign of Bel-Air. This development, directed by monetary need, unintentionally prepared for the widely praised famous actor rendition of Will Smith that we know today. D.L. High, in his disclosure, is by all accounts guiding toward the supposed fight between Will Smith and his co-star, the first auntie Viv, Janet Hubert. Their on-screen relationship was reflected by genuine disagreement, prompting Hubert's takeoff in 1993, thusly supplanted by Daphne Reid. One prominent disputed matter was Hubert's analysis of Smith for purportedly not pushing for higher wages for his individual castmates. Hubert attested that Smith, then youthful and unpracticed, focused on private addition over the aggregate prosperity of the CA. I think he was youthful, and he was unpracticed. And I think he essentially needed to win Janet Hubert, let it all out in communicating her complaints, with Will Smith taking to an internet-based video To air her sentiments, she reviewed when she moved toward Smith, trusting his impact could assist with getting the cast a fair arrangement, like the Brotherhood scene on Companions anyway. Smith's significant other, Jada Pinkett Smith, wasn't having it in a radio meeting. She safeguarded her significant other and scrutinized Hubert, guaranteeing that Hubert maintained that the show should rotate around her personality of Viv, and blamed her for being mad about her decreasing pay. As per Jada Pinkett Smith, Hubert went from making a core of $1 million per year to nothing, and was agitated about it. She proposed that Hubert had been distraught from the start and detested the progress of a nasty-nosed punk like Will Smith, who apparently appeared suddenly and handled the show, while strains among Hubert and Smith were obvious. A few sources recommend that her takeoff from the show in 1993 wasn't exclusively because of their struggles. As per these records, Hubert's pregnancy assumed a part, setting off a proviso in her agreement that prompted her terrible the job of Insect Viv. With respect to Will Smith, monetary battles appear to be at the core of his story. In a past meeting, he uncovered a time of monetary bungle subsequent to making progress with DJ Energetic Jeff. In spite of winning a Grammy and having a triple platinum collection, his next discharge slumped, leaving him in a desperate monetary circumstance. Smith conceded to disregarding his expense commitments, bringing about the IRS holding onto his resources. Being both renowned and broke ended up being a difficult blend for Smith, as individuals remembered him while he battled monetarily for quite a long time. The conviction endured that Janet was terminated from the show in 1993 anyway. In The Gathering show, she explained that she decided to leave since she was pregnant, managing home life issues and confronting clashes with Will Smith on set. She additionally uncovered that her compensation was sliced, adding to her choice to leave. During the get-together show Janet unveiled there was a few grinding among Will and I since I was pregnant. Home life was bad at all. She communicated the individual difficulties she confronted that were not public information, underlining that science with Will and Alfonso was available from the very outset. The HBO Max New Ruler Get-Together show, which broadcasted on November 18, 2020, gave a stage to Janet and Will to address their well-established quarrel. I didn't come here to have hostility. I came here to determine 'cause it's time in a strong trade. During the get-together, Janet defied Will, communicating her hatred for the effect his activities had on her vocation. Traversing north of 30 years, keeping down tears, she conveyed her mistake, blaming him for going excessively far and continuously expecting to win. Will answered with an affirmation of Janet's commitment to the show and his life, communicating a craving to be somebody who safeguards as opposed to releases murkiness. The compromise cycle went on past the get-together show, finishing in the goal of their extended fight 2 days after the fact on Jada Pinkett Smith's Red Casual Conversation, which broadcasted on November 22, 2020. The discussion on the Red Table gave a stage to additional comprehension and conclusion among Will and Janet. It turns out Janet Hubert isn't the only one shouting out about testing encounters with Will Smith. Paul Rodriguez, who worked with Smith on the 2001 biopic Ali, uncovered in a meeting last year that the once appreciated star harassed and embarrassed him, routinely transforming his life into a day-to-day battle. Rodriguez accepted that Smith's abuse added to him being minimized by a large part of the cast and team, practically driving him being cut from the film and wrecking his sprouting Hollywood profession. Anyway, the tables turned emphatically for Will Smith over 20 years. Some other time, when he scandalously slapped humorist Chris Rock at the 2022 Oscars for poking a fun at his better half Jada. This episode, named the slap her all over the planet, caused a seismic change in Smith's status in Hollywood. Many tasks he was engaged with got shelved or suspended endlessly, and he confronted a 10-year restriction from the foundation grants. Rodriguez communicated sympathy for Smith's ebb and flow circumstance. while likewise trusting that Smith currently comprehends the effect of the troublesome encounters he exposed Rodriguez to on the arrangement of Ali Rodriguez. Recognize that he revels in seeing Smith go through this, yet proposed that maybe this experience will develop a feeling of empathy in Smith for the hardships he caused. Rodriguez described how, in the wake of being the objective of Smith's jokes and dreadful comments, individuals distanced themselves from him, prompting a decrease in his profession. The film, intended to be a leap forward in Rodriguez's profession, transformed into a bad dream because of Smith's conduct. Pondering Smith's ebb and flow situation, Rodriguez conceded feeling frustrated about him, noticing that the value he should pay is significant regardless of the difficulties brought about by Smith. Rodriguez battled to hold on to enmity, perceiving the significant effect of encountering segregation. He underscored the significance of having empathy, understanding the sensation of being evaded, and recognizing that even a snapshot of stupidity can bring about huge results. So when D.L. Hoy specifies that